Hey guys, Dave here. Welcome to the Centurions Review, the punk rock band of wargame review institutions in my never-ending quest to showcase strange, unusual, and forgotten games. This is Orbit the Black Hole from Odyssey Magazine. Let me explain what Odyssey Magazine is. It's a magazine I read when I was a kid. It's called the Young People's Magazine of Astronomy and Outer Space. It's about astronomy using telescopes, reading about spaceships and the space shuttle and stuff. I loved it when I was a kid. This is a game that was included with it. It's just a roll and move game. Essentially what you want to do is you want to get one of your space probes to completely orbit the black hole and go back to your launch bay. I'll go over the rules real quick. Now bear in mind this is a game made for little kids, so it's a roll and move game essentially. So don't expect like complexity or anything, or like high strategy or anything in this. This is just a game for kids. But on your player turn, the first thing you'll do is you'll roll a dice, and on a 1 or 6 you'll move one ship from your launch bay to the orbit space here, and then you can take another turn and you roll and see how far you can move. Or if you don't have any ships in the launch bay and you roll a 1 or 6, you can move a ship 1 or 6, or even if you do have some still in there, you can choose not to move one out. As far as movement, you can't move your ship on top of another one of your probes on top of one of your other probes. That's not allowed, so you have to move something else. If another guy has a probe out and you move either through his space or onto his space, you send this probe into the black hole. If you move onto one of these red spaces, your probe goes to the black hole. So as you can see here, there's orbits here. So you can change orbits. You do that by rolling a dice to see first how far you move. And then after you see how far you move, you decide if that's the one you're going to move. And if you're gonna, you'll roll a dice. And if you're moving to a lower orbit, you have to roll another dice. And if you get an even number, you're able to. If you want to go from a lower orbit to a high orbit, you'll have to roll a dice and get an odd number to do. So you do that essentially to avoid crashing into any of these red spaces or being run over by another guy's probe and stuff. It's just a way to move out of the way. But as you can see, like the inner ring here, if you move to that one, there's less spaces to go around the board, but the problem is the red spaces are closer together, so you're more likely to run into one. Alright, so let's do a few turns. Maybe we'll do the whole game, we'll see. Alright, so we got pennies representing one side and dimes representing the other. The game said you're supposed to paint little nuts, like nuts you would put on bolts, and use those, but to save time I'm just using pennies and dimes. So we'll roll to see who goes first. Alright, the dimes go first. So they gotta roll a 1 or 6 to take one out of their ship and put it into orbit. They get a 6, so he goes into orbit and he gets to roll again because he rolled a 1 or a 6. And he gets a 1, so he moves 1. He couldn't move another one out of the launch bay because he can't go over his own guy. Alright, so he rolled a 1, so now he gets to roll again because it was a 1. Now he gets a 2 and he moves 2. Alright, as far as the pennies, let's roll to see. They get a 2, so nothing happens. Alright, dimes will go. He's going to move to here. Pennies get a 1, so they move 1 into orbit. And let's roll and see. Moves 5, so he moves to there. Now it's back to the dimes. These represent space probes. 2, 3, 4, 5, so he gets to there. Alright, penny over here. Rolls a 2, so he goes 1, 2, so he's there. And this guy rolls a 6, so you can either move 6 or move 1 into orbit. He's going to move 1 into orbit. And then roll again, so he gets a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And over here he rolls a 6, so he moves 1 into orbit. And then rolls again, because he rolled a 6, gets another 6. So this one will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, makes it to there, and rolls again. and gets a 1. So this one will move 1 and he gets to roll again because it was a 1. And gets another 1, so he moves again and rolls again. Now he gets a 6, so the 6 will move this one out of the launch bay to there, and he gets to roll again because it was a 6, so now he gets a 2, so that goes to there. Alright, these guys here gets a 5, so that will go there. Yeah, the pennies and dimes are a little big, but make them work anyways. Alright, this guy gets a 5, so he goes to there. Our dime here, he gets a 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And if he starts running into these guys, if he lands on one, he will kill it, or if he moves through it. So this over here, he gets a 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, now our dime here. He rolls a 1, so they're actually just going to move 1 out of the launch bay, I think. And he gets to roll again, so he gets a 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, so he's right there. He's not on top of him, but he almost is. All right, now for the pennies. Gets a 2, 1, 2. And the dime rolls a 5, so he goes 1, 2, knocks this one in the black hole, 3, 4, knocks that one in the black hole, and 5. Now for the pennies. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. He's not on top of that guy, he's right there. And the dimes will go 3. You can either choose, well, he's not going to risk it, because if he doesn't roll to change orbits there, he's going to land on the red, so he's going to move this one instead. 1, 2, 3, that's why it's good to have more than one out there. Alright, now for the pennies. Penny gets a 5, so he goes 1, knocks that into the black hole, 2, 3, 4, 5, so he's right there. Alright. So they roll a 6, so he's gonna move that there and roll again. And if he moves through the dime, but he can't, or he can't move through his own guy, but let's see what we roll there. Rolls a 1, so he'll move right here and roll one more time. Gets a 6. Yeah, he's just going to move here. 3, 4, 5, 6, and gets to roll again because it was a 6. And then he gets 2 more. I don't. Alright, so he's going to have to move this. He'll move this one too. There we go. Alright, now for the penny. He gets a 6, so he goes 1, knocks that into the black hole, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and gets to roll again. And he rolls a 1, so he can move 1 out of the launch bay and roll again. And he gets a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, the dime will go. Gets a 3, but that will put him on the red space. So 1, 2, 3. And now for the penny. Penny moves 2. And for the dime, rolls a 3 again, so he's got to move that one. And the penny will move 1 and roll again. Gets a 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now the dime will go. Goes to there. And the penny gets their dime. And now the penny is up. Penny gets a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the dime gets a 4. And the penny can't go there, so this one's going to move. Well, it can go there, but it'll go in the black hole. Alright, now the dime. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now for the penny. Penny gets a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's landed on the launch bay and he's 1. So you have to roll the exact number to get there, which he did. But that's the basic game. It's just for little kids. I just figured I'd show you guys this because I like to showcase games that people have forgotten or never heard of. Thanks. So what do I think of Orbit the Black Hole from the little kids magazine Odyssey? Well, for a little kids game, I think kids will find it to be fun. It's got a lot of similarities to like Sorry and stuff. As far as the rule book was alright. I didn't have any trouble figuring out the rules. I don't think kids would have any trouble either. As far as how fun it is, this is in kids game terms. It's probably about 7 or so, I would give it. And originality, it's not very original. I mean, it's just a mutation of Sorry made to work with a black hole orbit. So I'd give the originality like a 4. And then components, there's really no components. There's just a map, and they did the mistake that I hate when magazine manufacturers do. They put the rules on the back of the map, so if you need to reference them while playing, you got to take all the playing pieces off to look at it, so I hate when that happens. One war game magazine did that on a few of their games too. I can't remember the name of the magazine. As far as replayability, I think little kids will play it a lot. So replayability, probably about a 7. Anyhow, yeah, decent game for kids. I don't think adults won't have any interest in it though, but for kids it's okay. Have a good evening.